74. Randy the Rutabaga and the Rumpa Loompas. Written by Bepa Ammett. Illustrated by Bepa Ammett. Photos by J and K Yulin. January 2024. Chapter 1. Randy the Rutabaga was studying in his library when the phone rang. It was Bepa. "Hey, Randy. How you doing?" "I'm fine, Bepa. What's up?" "Well, I got a little problem I thought you might be able to help me with. It seems that one of the Ruta-Babies has gotten in over her head and asked me if I could help. Truth is, I got no ideas and thought you might be able to come up with something. You always do." "What seems to be the problem, Bepa?" "Well, it started like this. Over the summer, when Kay had her birthday, she received a bead jewelry kit. Over the summer, she got better and faster at making very nice bracelets. At first, she made a few and gave them to some of her friends. Once school started up again, kids started noticing how nice the bracelets she had made were and started asking her to make one for them. That's when Kay discovered that beads don't grow on trees. So, to pay for the supplies she would need, she would have to start charging $5 a bracelet. To her surprise and excitement, people that wanted the bracelets were glad to pay the $5. Soon Kay's bracelets became known all over the school. In addition, Kay's mother, as a proud mom, showed Kay's bracelets to some of her friends. They too wanted to get a few of these bracelets for their friends and family. And so, slowly but surely, Kay's business started to grow. A few here, a few there, Kay was making more and more bracelets. Then, right around Thanksgiving, Kay got an order for 35 bracelets, her biggest order yet. Not only was it the largest order, but the customer needed the bracelets in just 1 week, 7 days. But this order was worth $175. So Kay went to work 4 hours a day, after school, and all weekend. She worked and worked until finally finished, and with 1 day to spare. Well, the customer was happy and Kay was excited to get the $175 paycheck. Woohoo! Then, 10 days before Christmas, the school principal, Dr. Pender, asked Kay to come to her office. Well, Kay was a little concerned being called to the principal's office, but knew she had not done anything to get in trouble for. But still, as Kay entered the principal's office, Dr. Pender could see the concerns on Kay's face and assured her that she was not in trouble. In fact, Dr. Pender told Kay how proud she was of her positive activities around campus. Then Dr. Pender asked Kay the question that Kay was not ready for. "Kay, I admire your bracelets very much and would like to make an order. A large order, in fact." Well, Kay had just finished a large order of 35 and knew she could handle a large order. "Well, thank you, Dr. Pender. I believe I can handle a large order for the school's principal. How many would you like?" asked Kay. "Kay, I need 300 bracelets by December 24th, Christmas Eve. Will you do it?" Oh, OMG. Then Kay heard herself say, "No problem. School break will start soon and I'll be able to knock it out in a week or so." Who is this person talking? It can't possibly make 300 bracelets in a month, let alone 1 week. "Thank you so much. I knew you could do it. See you Christmas Eve, and thanks." And there's the invoice. What have I done? Oh! As soon as Kay got home from school, she started stacking her bead supply. And then she started to figure out just how many bracelets she needed to make per day to finish in time. 300 bracelets divided by 8 days to do it in equals 37.4 bracelets a day. 37.4 bracelets a day. OMG, OMG, OMG. Why, oh, why did I say yes? Did I say yes? Oh, yeah, I said yes. Oh. So, Kay started making her 37.4 bracelets a day, one after another, after another, after another. It was almost bedtime and Kay had only made 15 bracelets, falling short of her goal by 12.4. Tomorrow there would only be 7 days left to finish and she couldn't let Dr. pin her down. Then Kay had an idea. I'll give Bepa a call and see if he has any ideas that'll help me reach my goal. Kay was really tired, but she needed the help. Hello, Bepa, it's Kay. I know it's late, but I need your help and advice. Kay explained to Bepa about Dr. Pinder's order of 300 bracelets, and now that Kay had started making them, she was not sure that she would be able to finish in time. Bepa listened very carefully and then suggested that between him and Randy the Rutabaga, they should be able to come up with a plan. Kay tried to listen, but fell asleep right at her desk. Randy had listened to Bepa's and Kay's little problem. Boy, Bepa, sounds like Kay could use some kind of magic, said Randy. It sure does. Got any magic laying around, Randy? Asked Bepa. I just might, Bepa, but I can't talk about it over the phone. Come over and use the secret entrance. This is hush hush. You remember the code, I hope, said Randy. Yeah, started Bepa. No. Secret, remember? Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll be over in a little while, said Bepa. And with that, they both hung up. Chapter 2. Bepa hoped that Randy could come up with some help so Kay could succeed with her bracelet order for her principal. Once at Randy's house, he made his way to the secret entrance and put in the code AH1G. The door swung open and Bepa made his way to Randy's study. Good evening, Bepa. I think I may have a solution to Kay's little problem. As you know, I have traveled the world searching for treasure and secrets of the universe, and you know that I have found both. Now, what I'm about to tell you will sound absurd, impossible, crazy even, but I assure you it's true. But before I share this with you, you must swear to never divulge this to anyone else. Anyone. Do you swear, Bepa? I do. Now, Bepa, have you heard of the new Wonka movie, haven't you? Yeah, said Bepa. And you remember the original movie too, don't you? Asked Randy. Yeah, the Wonkas, yeah. Yeah, I remember that too, but what does this have to do with Kay's little problem? Bepa replied. Well, Bepa, what do both movies have in common? Asked Randy. They're both about chocolate, replied Bepa. Yes, but not that. In both movies, there were those little odd people, remember? Said Randy. The Oompa Loompas, those little odd fellows that love to work and make chocolate. Oh, so we're going to get some Oompa Loompas to help Kay make all those bracelets? Oh, come on, Randy. And just where are we going to find some Oompa Loompas, even if they existed? Oompa Loompa Land? Asked Bepa, who did not think that this was funny at all. While I was searching for clues that led me to find King Solomon's mines, I came across this odd map in a small village. Once I got it back to my lab, I conducted intense restoration efforts, and it produced this extraordinary map. You mean this Oompa Loompa stuff is real? Oh, come on. And you found Oompa Loompas? Said Bepa. Well, yes, and more, said Randy. That's why this is a secret. I found the real Oompa Loompa land that the movie Wonka talked about. The movie depicted what the movie depicted was quite true. The Oompa Loompas were being attacked by various beasts and were forced to survive on gross food, even though the one food they longed for more than any other was the cocoa bean. As it turns out, that's exactly what chocolate is made of. So when Mr. Wonka found Loompa Land and heard their story, he told the Oompa Loompas that they could come and live at his factory, eat all the cocoa beans they wanted if they'd agreed to work for him. It was a deal. Oompa Loompas harvesting cocoa bean pods. So what are we going to do? Tell Kay's customers that her bracelets are now going to be made of chocolate? I still don't understand how this is going to help, said Bepa. Relax, Bepa. Let me finish the story, said Randy. As I was saying, I was able to find Oompa Loompa Land, but when I flew over the island, I noticed that part of the island was not depicted on the map like it looked from the air. Once I got on the ground and started to explore, I found a whole new land. In the lower southeast corner of the island, separated by a fast-running river, lies a flat area of the island that grows what could be the best crop in the world. Rutabagas. It was here I found the Rumpa Loompas. Rupa Loompas had started out as Oompa Loompas, but when the river formed, it made them into two groups. While the Oompas had to deal with the jungle and the wild beasts and the gross food, the Rupas were subjected to the hot sun all day, but were able to grow rutabagas. To deal with the heat and harsh sun, Rupas dug deep caves and soon found hidden jewels that they made jewelry from to pass the time. I became friends with them and traded modern farming tools for some of their jewelry, which I was able to sell for a handsome profit. That is one of the reasons that this is secret. This is unbelievable, shouted Bepa. But then Bepa turned to face Randy and asked, and just how are a bunch of Rupa Loompas from Rupa Loompa Land going to help Kay? I can't get into great detail right now, but check to see if Kay's still sleeping. This is going to be a secret special night operation. Let's get going, said Randy, and poof, they were off. Chapter 3. Randy and Bepa found Kay asleep at her workbench. Good, said Randy. Bepa, turn your head and close your eyes. Don't ask any question, just do it, whispered Randy. Well, Bepa did as he was asked, and Randy turned his attention to the room where Kay had been working on her bracelets. Randy reached into his coat and put a small device on the floor. Randy turned his back to it, reached into his coat once more, and removed a small remote control and pushed the button. Poof! In the middle of the room appeared a small cardboard hut. Randy whispered, Bepa, you can open your eyes now. Bepa opened his eyes and saw the cardboard hut. What the heck is that? He asked. That's the answer to Kay's problem, replied Randy. It's almost dawn. Follow me inside and don't make a sound. Bepa followed Randy inside the cardboard hut and could not believe what he saw. Chapter 4. It was a little after 7 a.m. when Kay woke up at her bench. The last thing she remembered was talking to Bepa. She must have fallen asleep. It was Saturday, so she didn't have to worry about going to school. She would put all of her efforts into making as many bracelets today and tomorrow as possible. I'll just hit the bathroom and get a little water, and bam, I'll start knocking out those bracelets. When Kay stood up and turned around, she was shocked. What the heck was that, and where did it come from? Kay could not believe her eyes. Was she still dreaming? It looked real enough. Kay opened the door and looked inside. Now she was really confused. How could this be? She didn't believe what she was seeing. There was a giant wooden door on the far wall. But how could this be? There was a wooden door inside a little cardboard hut in the middle of the room. Then she heard a sound so faint that she wasn't sure she heard it. But the sound grew louder and louder until she thought she could make it out. Rumpa, loompa, doopity doo. We've got a special surprise for you. Roompa, loompa, doopity dee. Christmas Eve is coming, is near, you see. Randy and Bepa asked us to help make 300 bracelets to put on your shelf. We will help, that is what we do, but only this once, and it's a secret too. Roompa, loompa, doopity dar. You are kind, so you'll go far. You will live in happiness too, like the Roompa, loompa, doopity doo. Now Kay knew she was going crazy. Roompa Loompas? Then suddenly the great wooden door opened by itself, and Kay could barely believe her eyes. There in the open doorway were more beads than Kay had ever seen, and the song she had heard was even louder. Something was telling Kay to go through the doorway. She was a little scared, but she decided to enter. What she saw next was so unbelievable that she did not believe it, but she could not take her eyes off the sight. Everywhere she looked were these strange-looking people. All of them were busy making bead bracelets. As she looked around, she saw something that she did recognize. It was Bepa, but it was Bepa surrounded by these creatures. Bepa and the Rumpa Loompas. Good morning, Kay. Hope we didn't scare you too much. I would like to introduce you to some friends of Randy and mine. These are called Rupa Loompas, and they're going to help you make your goal of 300 bracelets by Christmas Eve. I know you have 1,000 questions, but we are on borrowed time. Let's take a quick tour of your factory, and then you need to get back to making some bracelets yourself. Wow. As far as Kay could see, Roompa Loompas were busy at work making bracelets. Kay had lots of questions, but Bepa insisted that she go out the door and start making bracelets as fast as she could. Kay hesitated, but then followed Bepa's request and went back out the giant wooden door and went to work on her bracelets. Kay worked and worked at making bracelets, and soon a great sense of tiredness took over and she fell asleep. When Kay awoke, it was morning again. But this time, instead of cardboard house in the room, she found 300 bracelets ready to take to the principal. Kay didn't know what to do or say. All 300 bracelets were finished and ready for delivery. Kay delivered the bracelets to Dr. Pender a few days before the deadline. Dr. Pender was so impressed that she threw in a 10% tip equaling $190.80. But Kay was still a little confused. She had worked hard to make the deadline. There was a cardboard house, and then there wasn't. Then there was these Loompas, and then they disappeared. Kay thought for a moment and decided she had better call Bepa to find out what had happened. He was there, so he should be able to tell her what the heck was going on. Kay called Bepa and asked him what had happened. Bepa, I'm confused. I thought I saw you last night, and there was this hut in my living room, and Oompas making bracelets for me. Bepa thought, before I share this with you, you must swear to never divulge this to anyone else. Anyone. Do you swear, Bepa? I do. Bepa, I know you were there, weren't you? Those little people, those Oompas? Well, it must have been a dream. Yeah, a dream. Gotta go. Love you. Goodbye. And just like that, Bepa was gone. Kay could only wonder if any of this really happened. The end.